Greetings everyone, this is SteamTeamRedubUK, CC Trainor-Ling, and I'm back to bring you another retro review from the Casagrandes mini-arc from Season 4 of The Loud House. So let's get right into it. Today's episode is Store Wars. In this episode, a new supermarket called the High and Buy moves in across the street from the Mercado, and fearing that its impressive service will run them out of business, the Casagrandes do what they can to bring in more customers to the Mercado. Even though this counts as more of an ensemble episode, Bobby takes more of a spotlight than anyone else, so this could technically count as his own episode. The story tackles the usual economic-style conflict of how small family-owned businesses have difficulty competing with larger corporate-owned businesses because bigger chain stores offer more products and better services. This was certainly the case in this episode when Ronnie Ann and Bobby noticed some of their usual customers shopping at the High and Buy. To keep their business from closing, the Casagrandes start adding new services to the Mercado, some of which even the High and Buy doesn't offer, and the customers have a great shopping experience as a result. Of course, just when the family thought things were getting better, things ended up getting worse when Bobby decided to keep the Mercado open 24 hours just like the competition. As expected, the family is very sleep deprived, and that's reflected in how they perform their new and improved services, leading to a very poor experience for the customers. The one I really felt bad for was Carlota because a customer handed over some raccoon babies to her Mercado babysitting service. I know people tend to view their pets as their babies, but raccoons as pets? Seriously? Not a dog or something that didn't come directly from nature? I'm all for characters wanting to commit to their promises about the services they offer, but this was a bridge too far. Regardless, a freak mishap caused a big food-related mess, and thanks to Ronnie Ann and Rosa being too tired to realize they were putting salt instead of sugar into the churros, the customers angrily leave the Mercado. It's at this point that the family truly believes the rival supermarket is going to run them out of business. However, thanks to a quick conversation with Par the delivery guy, when he says the Mercado is the only place where he can buy a certain item, Bobby comes up with the idea of trying to be less like the High and Buy and more like themselves. He uses the knowledge and relationships he developed with the Mercado's regular patrons and treats them more like friends than customers. He knows exactly what they want and goes the extra mile to make sure they have what they're looking for. Even Mr. Nakamura says the Mercado is the only place that actually feels like a neighborhood store. This entire scene at the end was the true selling point of the story, in my opinion. It reinforces the idea that no matter how many better quality products and services a large chain store may have, cheaper and better prices notwithstanding, it can truly never compete with the more personable experience of shopping at a family-owned business. The smaller retailers have more of an opportunity to get to know the people who shop at their store regularly, and they can offer products and services larger stores may not, which may include little things that would normally only be shared between family members. In other words, the Casagrande Mercado doesn't treat their customers as just numbers. They treat them as if they were one of the family, and knowing what he did, what the High and Buy could never do, Bobby could certainly rest easy knowing he saved the family business. Overall, this episode is pretty predictable when it comes to how the characters handled themselves in the typical small family business versus large corporate business scenario, but it has a very good ending that demonstrates how the former succeeds in family-friendly service in a way the latter never could. In that regard, the story does a very good job at reminding viewers that it's always better to shop and support local businesses. With this technically being his first lead role in the soon-to-be spin-off, Bobby was the best character in the episode. He showed how passionate he was about the family business and was willing to do whatever was necessary to keep the Mercado open. Major props to the rest of the family for doing their part to help, even going so far as to lose sleep just to make sure their customers were happy. It's not the best episode of the Casagrandes mini-arc, but it has a place in my top 5, and for good reason. With that said, I give Store Wars a 9 out of 10. Well folks, that concludes my review of Store Wars. So I gotta ask, what did you guys think of this episode? Sound off in the comments below, and be sure to click that subscribe button for more Loud House related content. That's going to do it for me. I'll catch you guys for the next video, but until then, this is SteamTeamRedubUK, CC Trainor-Ling, signing off. Peace out, home slices.